And not only that, Pokemon Sword and Shield sucks.
I played through Pokemon Shield twice for this video, and just as an example of what this game means to me, I had absolutely no problem deleting my full save data after my first playthrough.
To conclude, Game Freak continues to play it extremely safe. 20 years later, the Pokemon franchise refuses to evolve, which is ironic for a series focusing on monsters that continually evolve to get better.
No.
You win.
This game is f***ing trash. Are you serious?
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I winded up in this wacky situation. Well, it all started in the year 1998. On September 7th, 1998, the Pokemon Company alongside Creatures Inc. released their Japanese games Pokemon Red and Green versions in America as Pokemon Red and Blue versions on the Nintendo Game Boy. What they didn't expect, however, were these two games becoming flat-out cultural icons. Starting the next year, Pokemon was on top of the US. It became immensely popular with kids because of its collectible-style gameplay, sense of discovery, and the ability to battle and trade between others. Pokemania, it was dubbed, and Game Freak took every single advantage possible. There was an entire line of toys, trading cards, which became some of the most popular collectibles of all time, a special third game, Pokemon Yellow, which had extra content and features, as well as the Pokemon anime, allowing kids to both play the games as well as watch recreations of the games on TV. This was such a huge thing that even the media was in on it.
When we come back, what all the fuss is about, at least to the 8-year-old set in this country.
So what exactly is a Pokemon? Cute, cuddly characters who become supercharged so they can fight their enemies. But some experts say the entire Pokemon phenomenon is the enemy.
In my opinion, parents should not let their kids watch Pokemon, play Pokemon, buy Pokemon cards, have anything whatsoever to do with Pokemon, because the message is violence.
But many parents disagree.
It's really, I think, an okay thing for the kids because they learn to save their allowance, to budget for it, and they learn to trade and be kind of reasonable with their friends.
But it all led up to one final event on November 10th, 1999. Pokemon the first movie hits theaters. The movie was an absolute monster, with theaters all over the country being sold out for weeks. The movie made a whopping $172 million at the box office worldwide, and 30 of that was on the first day alone. And this day was infamous for public schools since all the kids' parents called them in sick so they could go see the movie, which was later dubbed Pokeflu. But after that, the hype started to die down, Pokemania had ended, and at the end of the day, it was just a fad. But that didn't stop Pokemon from eventually ending up to being the highest grossing media franchise on the planet. Now let's fast forward to the year 2015. There had been several games released since Pokemania, with notable ones being the critically acclaimed Heart Gold and Soul Silver, as well as the Black and White games. But Pokemon has now fully entered the third dimension with 2013's Pokemon X and Y. But on September 10th at a Tokyo event, John Hank and his company Niantic were proud to announce that alongside Junichi Masuda, Sunezako Ishihara, and Shigeru Miyamoto, that Niantic were partnering with Game Freak and Nintendo to create an augmented reality game set in the world of Pokemon. Its name, Pokemon Go. For about half a year, Niantic was pretty quiet about it until March 24, 2016, where the first gameplay details and screenshots were revealed. But people weren't really bothered all that much because on the 26th of February, Pokemon revealed the next mainline games, those being Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon, even though the logos got leaked the day before and ruined the whole thing. To say the Pokemon was excited at this point was a huge understatement. Remember, this was 2016, long before Pokemon Mobile. Remember, this was 2016, long before Pokemon mobile games were a staple. I mean, what else was there? Pokemon Shuffle? No. Upon release, millions flooded into the game. There were so many people trying to play the game, it was legit near impossible to actually play it at that point because there were just so many people trying to get on it at once. I'm sure many of you have nightmares of this infamous screen. I remember being 10 years old at my grandparents' house in New Jersey on my mom's iPad, and then randomly out of nowhere finding out that Pokemon Go had finally come out because I was a little normie piece of crap. And I couldn't play it though because there was some weird stuff going on with my Pokemon account and I couldn't sign in, so I just had to watch everyone else play. But here's the thing, Pokemon Go was an immensely popular game, right? What happens when a game gets popular? Well, friends, it's what I believe to be one word. One word that I believe to be the death of the Pokemon franchise's quality. Normies. When the game came out, YouTube exploded. Hundreds of clickbait YouTubers playing the game just to gain views, but that officially marked Pokemon Go as a trend, on the level of something like Minecraft or Roblox or Fortnite. Millions and millions of normies and people who didn't have any idea what a Seismitoad was were now flooding the game. The game peaked at this point, with nearly 28 million people playing every day. On top of that, however, there were some people who were playing the game just to relive the memories of their childhoods. I mean, to be fair, what else did people have to do in 2016? Bottle flips. They shot a gorilla, I think. Some lady wanted people to Pokemon Go to the polls, and some other guy wanted to build Great Wall. And then there were the horror stories of people falling off cliffs or drowning themselves trying to catch a Dratini. It was so bad even the media got in on it.
As the Pokemon Go craze spreads, some say it is going too far. And that's because people are playing the game at cemeteries and memorials dedicated to our fallen heroes.
The National World War I Museum and Memorial honor those that gave the ultimate sacrifice. But on the same grounds of a landmark dedicated to one of the worst international tragedies, players can search for Pokemon.
Someone posted a link on Facebook that there was a Dragonite here, and that's a really rare Pokemon, so I wanted to get it.
Up there are 2 Pokestops.
Today, Luis Ortiz and a friend walked around the memorial, staring down at their phones and playing Pokemon Go.
Yeah, there's a lot of Pokemon around here, and gotta catch them all.
Pokemon can be seen jumping on...
This is it. All my friends are f***ing zombies. And I just don't know what to do. I want to call 911, but they're playing Pokemon Go too. And they told, I called it, I was like, hello 911, my friend was a zombie. And they said, hey, this is the Pokemon gym. I said, no, it's not the Pokemon gym. This is the police station. They said, no, this is the Pokemon gym. This is the Pokemon gym, you want to battle? I said, no, I don't want to battle.
But after a month or two, it was over. The hype had died down, and the player base died off by quite a bit. I mean, the game is still popular. I mean, they just added Gen 6 about a month ago. But was there anything you noticed? Anything that popped into your head? The Pokemon Go craze of 2016 was exactly like the Pokemania of 1999. You had a brand new game that was all the rage, as well as a bunch of toys you could buy of your favorite characters, a bunch of new trading cards, because 2016 was the 20th anniversary, meaning that was promoted everywhere. Hell, it was even a Pokemon Super Bowl commercial that year, for God's sake. And just like Pokemon the first movie, there was a huge new release at the end of that year. Pokemon Sun and Moon. Now, unlike something like Fortnite, this trend actually left an impact. A lot of those normies actually stuck around, and that can be proven with one number. 16.2 million. That's how many copies Pokemon Sun and Moon sold, making them the 3rd best-selling game on the 3DS behind Mario Kart 7 and, well, Pokemon X and Y. But there's one major difference between X and Y sales and Sun and Moon sales. Pokemon Sun and Moon were some of the fastest-selling games of the decade. Of those 16.2 million copies, 10 million of those were pre-orders. But here's the thing. These numbers may have shown that Pokemon was reborn and had a whole new generation of players. But what Game Freak saw was an opportunity. I sounded like Kronk there. So, an opportunity. But now up to this point, Pokemon releases have been pretty spread out. Most games at least had a few years between them. So it's pretty safe to say everyone was pretty weirded out when Game Freak suddenly announced Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon the next year. But remasters of Sun and Moon only a year after? Who wanted these? Most people assumed that a year or two would be spent making Diamond and Pearl remakes, but nope. Remasters of brand new games that only came out a year ago, and to top it all off, the differences made to these games were barely anything at all. I mean, there's an altered story, a couple new Pokemon, and some new places, but why?
Why? Why? Why? Why? Why?
Why would they make 2 completely new games just with minuscule changes only a year after? Why wasn't this like $10 DLC or something, or hell, even a 3rd version? Then the small release window would kind of make sense. But I'll tell you why. Because after Pokemon Go, and after Game Freak saw all those new fans that were normies and had no idea the past quality of the franchise, they knew what they were going to do from now on. They could sell anything they wanted with the Pokemon logo on it, and it would sell millions of copies without any of the heart or soul. Now in 2017, there was a little console release called a Nintendo Switch. The Switch easily became most Nintendo fans' favorite console with its amazing features, selection of games, and the fact you can play it as both a TV console and a portable handheld one. Now up to this point, Pokemon had been exclusive to handheld consoles. There There were a few spin-off home consoles, but I mean, other than that, it was just all mainly for handhelds. But when the Switch was released, it was safe to say people sure as hell weren't going to be dusting off their old 3DSs anymore. So Game Freak was left with only one option for the series' future: the Nintendo Switch. After 2017's, incident, Pokemon fans were hyped for the future of the franchise in HD on the Switch, and were ecstatic on May 29, 2018, where Pokemon released a trailer on their YouTube channel for the first core RPG games in the franchise released on a home console in HD. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. The Kanto region again, which, yeah, is getting repetitive, but I mean, look at everything they've added. Pokemon Follow You again. The game connects with Pokemon Go. You can ride Charizard! There were a few things that raised some eyebrows, but at the end of the day, the games looked like they had pure passion put into it, at least. Fans were absolutely hyped. I know I was. How could these games be bad? They learned their lesson from Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and now they're gonna strive for quality. Then release day came, November 16th. Millions bought the game, eager to explore the vast world of Pokemon in glorious HD, and, I already beat the game. Well, I'm sure after you beat the game, you get a bunch of post-game content. Okay, you get 4 Pokemon, like in the originals. Okay, so the game had some problems. People got way too hyped for this game, when in reality it was basically just Kanto in HD. I mean, the game looked great. I mean, it had some new additions, but in terms of content, it was severely lacking compared to modern games. At the end of the day, these games were nothing but lazy, slapped-together cash grabs. They marketed themselves that they were, bringing back Kanto, doing it for the love of the fans who grew up with them, when in reality, these games are solely meant to appeal to the casual normie fan base. The amount of things that they could have easily put in are staggering. I mean, some of these additions seem like no-brainers. Where are the Sevi Islands? They were great additions in Fire Red and Leaf Green that completely would have carried the post-game, but they're just not here. The games are easy as hell. I don't think I blacked out once in my playthrough. And the nail in the coffin was the connection between Pokemon Go. They forced an unneeded addition nobody asked for and forced you to transfer Pokemon because, yeah, there's no online in this game for some reason. Also to appeal to the casuals as opposed to hardcore Pokemon fans. Now, when Let's Go was announced, there was another announcement that was going to be a Pokemon game that was a brand new mainline addition to the Switch. It would have a new region, new Pokemon, new everything. And there were a ton of people desperately waiting for the reveal. Then on Pokemon's 23rd anniversary on February 27th, 2019, the Pokemon Direct revealed Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. They appeared to be amazing new games with vast worlds to discover and tons of new ideas. Now, not much was shown about the game until E3 2019, where we got a new trailer. Now, here's what I think tainted the Pokemon community forever. There was a split of 2 groups. From this point on, half the Pokemon believed that these games would be amazing, passion-filled entries that would breathe new life into the franchise, and the other half believed these games would be nothing but lazy excuses for a Pokemon game where we're only here to suck more money out of the wallets of the fanbase. And it was set in stone by one thing that immediately deterred half the community from the game: the removal of the National Pokédex.
And so what that means for Pokemon Sword and Shield is that players will be able to transfer their Pokemon from Pokemon Home only if they appear in the Galar region Pokédex.
I don't need to beat around the bush here, you guys know what happened. There was outrage. People were told this would be the biggest and best Pokemon game yet, however, half of all Pokemon would flat out be unobtainable. It's not even like Sun and Moon where you can just cheat or transfer them in, but no, they just aren't programming half the Pokemon into the game. And do you know why? And do you know what their excuse was for it? The reasoning they had for this? So they could be more expressive with the Pokemon in the game. Honestly, most people would be okay with that. Having only half the Pokemon, but they look fantastic with unique animations, that would be cool. Also, side note, because these games were based off the UK, people started calling it Dexit. Just wanted to throw that in. But the thing is, it was total BS. Within hours, people were flat out proving that they didn't update any of the Pokemon or give them new animations. God, these guys lie more than the goddamn media.
Do we even know who is this 4chan?
It was a civil war. Bodies flying left and right. Brain cells dying by the second. And worst of all, hypocrisy. On one side, you had the apologists, led by people like Verlisfy, using baseless arguments and personal attacks. And then you had the resistance, led by brave soldiers like Distant Kingdom, fighting for more and refusing to settle for less. And then, release day came.
And not only that, Pokemon Sword and Shield sucks.
The fact that we're still doing this nonsense, where they just lift the character model up and down for some of the attacks, this would have been embarrassing on the PS2.
I played through Pokemon Shield twice for this video, and just as an example of what this game means to me, I had absolutely no problem deleting my full save data after my first playthrough.
To conclude, Game Freak continues to play it extremely safe. 20 years later, the Pokemon franchise refuses to evolve, which is ironic for a series focusing on monsters that continually evolve to get better.
And when it's so abhorrently noticeable that there's higher-ups making decisions for low budgets and high school. This game probably has the same budget as a Nintendo DS game. I'm sorry, but it probably does.
No.
You win.
This game is f***ing trash. Are you serious?
It was as the Resistance predicted. These games were panned by the fan base. Just go onto YouTube and you'll find endless rants about the game. But why were the games so lackluster? Well, let's just rapid fire some major points internet historian style. Shall we? The replacement for Mega Evolution, Dynamax, is completely broken, so much so that you can't even use them online anymore. The new Gigantamax forms look ugly and stupid since most of them just enlarge a part of the Pokemon's body and call it a day. The only Pokemon to get a Gigantamax form that's not from Gen 1 or 8 is Garbodor. The graphics look the exact same throughout the game and never get better, with some even calling these games HD 3DS games. Oh, here's a big one. Online battles have a 20-minute battle timer, making a lot of battle strategies flat out impossible. Pokemon don't appear shiny in the overworld unlike Let's Go. There's no experience share because it's permanently on in this game with no way to turn it off. Game Freak solution? Just have one Pokemon in your party. Pokemon can't follow you even though that was in Let's Go. Pokemon scaling is completely out of whack. Okay guys, I'm gonna show you how to make a Dynamax Pokemon. Done. The routes are the most linear they've ever been, with some of them being literal straight lines. The replacement for the PSS is the Y-Com, which doesn't even have a GTS. Monitors in their parents' basements can fix graphical problems like the infamous trees in minutes, so why can't a billion-dollar company like Game Freak? The replacement for Pokemon Refresh is Pokemon Camp, where Pokemon can get stuck in an infinite running loop. And worst of all, Game Freak had the balls to release $30 DLC for this crap. It came in two waves, first the Isle of Armor and then the Crown Tundra. And while I haven't played either of them, like I'm giving them any more of my f***ing money, I can safely assume that these two are just as shameless and cash grabby as the main game. Firstly, they've added more Pokemon. 200 of them. Still leaving 200 Pokemon you're not allowed to have in the game. But to be fair, these two are the best parts of the game. But to also be fair, most additions here are just things that should have been in the game for free at launch. For example, Pokemon can follow you again, but it's done completely poorly and is downright offensive. Pokemon are so slow they can barely keep up, and end up just magically teleporting to you every 3 seconds, completely breaking any and all immersion you have from having them follow you in the first place. And again, modders can fix this in minutes, so I can't Game Freak. You can't even ride them anymore. A plow truck, will you piss off? I'm trying to make a Pokemon video. Jesus. Nerve of some people. Or what about multi-battles? They were cut from the game. Totally not so they could just be forced into the Crown Tundra with a $30 price tag. Game Freak rushed out Sword and Shield intentionally because they knew they could release anything with the Pokemon logo on it and make fat stacks of cash. And then they realized they could make DLC for the games that people would still buy that have all the cut features, even though all previous games had all the features right out of the box for free. And we're not even done, we didn't even mention Pokemon Home! So they released Pokemon Home, a Switch app which is essentially just Pokemon Bank, a service that lets you store and transfer a bunch of Pokemon between Gens 5, 6, and 7 for only $5 a year. I mean, it probably should be free, but fair enough, it's $5. But in order to transfer your Pokemon between Gens 7 and 8, you need a Pokemon Bank subscription, which is $5. A subscription to Pokemon Home, which, you know, take a guess. Take a guess how much it is per year to use Pokemon Home. Take a wild guess. $16. $16 a year to transfer a Pokemon between games. something that's been free ever since the beginning. $16 to store literal kilobytes of information. You can have the national dex in your home, but you can't actually transfer the Pokemon to Sword and Shield because they don't exist in Sword and Shield. And guess what they added to home? They had the absolute balls, the nerve, to add the GTS to Pokemon Home, after it being a staple for free in every other game. But now the GTS is locked behind a $16 a year paywall, and the judge function suffered too. A great addition in Sun and Moon, which let you see a Pokemon's IVs right on a graph, but nope, now you gotta buy it. $16 please. And it just goes on and on. I think you guys get the point. Pokemon Sword and Shield are insulting cash grabs and are only here to make a quick buck from deceptive and scummy business practices that take advantage of their fans. And now, we're come to the present. What's the future for Pokemon? Well, at the time of me writing this, there's no official word what the next games will be. However, it's basically a slam dunk to think they're going to be remakes of Diamond and Pearl on the Switch. And if you go onto YouTube, you will see countless videos saying one thing. These remakes need to be great. Oh, Diamond and Pearl on Switch have to be a masterpiece. Honestly, I can see it going either way. On one hand, I can see them forcing Sword and Shield's terrible features like Dynamax or forced EXP share into the game, but on the other hand, I could see them being truthful to the games and keeping the reasons why people like them so much. I mean, hypothetically, all the pieces are in place for them. They should be able to make a competent game. Haha, I didn't think I'd get through the video without a FNAF or Sonic reference, did ya? But we'll just have to wait and see. And of course, just as I'm finishing up this video, they announced a Pokemon Direct where they revealed 2 brand new Pokemon games. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, HD ground-up remakes of Sinnoh with questionable chibi art style, where when I saw the trailer, I was genuinely shocked that Game Freak made a game that looked this graphically good, and keeps the regular game's core mechanics like grass encounters instead of overworld encounters, instead of shoving in Sword and Shield's terrible stuff like Dynamax. And then I legit laughed when I saw that they weren't even making the game, but instead it was ILCA. But then they announced something that absolutely nobody was expecting, Pokemon Legends Arceus, an open-world game which takes place in the ancient Sinnoh region. They're actually trying something new, though I could see these games definitely lacking content and being quite small, considering that it's only coming out in a year. I mean, the graphics are looking rather lacking, the game looks kinda empty and lifeless with barely any Pokemon, and none of them will even react to anything in the overworld, but I can commend them for trying something new instead of sticking with the same thing that's worked for the past 25 years. But anyway, we'll just have to wait and see. But for now, let's just wrap this up. It sucks to see a franchise like Pokemon be no better than a company like EA, churning out games every year with no care put into them whatsoever. I mean, look at this. This is my Pokemon Omega Ruby save file. It was the first true Pokemon game I ever played. I have a 100% national Pokedex in it, because it was fun to go around and explore and catch new Pokemon. Hell, I made this channel because of Pokemon. I started with Pokemon card openings.
Duskull, Roselia, Goomy, Flabebe, Reverse Graveler, and... What'd you get? Mega Charizard X Secret Rare! Oh my god! Oh my god! Secret Rare Mega Charizard X! Oh my god!
Hey, I didn't say you could play a clip. Look at all the merchandise I have. I love Pokemon, not this corporate shill. And I feel after Pokemon Go, Game Freak realized they can do whatever the hell they want and make billions of dollars because people will blindly buy it because they have such a huge fan base. Now, I know I'm gonna get some comments with people saying, oh, it all started in X and Y, but I don't think that's true. I mean, X and Y still had heart and soul put into them. I mean, X and Y were a bit lacking in content, but I mean, come on. They had to make 720 new Pokemon models that were all future-proof, as well as thousands of new animations in a completely new dimension they've never worked in. And at the end of the day, the games were at least designed well and were fun. And say what you want about Sun and Moon, but they were born out of an idea. They had some of the best stories and most fleshed out characters we've ever gotten in the whole series. But anyway, I'm getting off track. I just hope that one day, Game Freak remembers the 2 things that made people love them so much in the first place. Heart and soul.